So I think I was like 21 when it started. I had read the book The Secret. I remember religiously trying to focus on how it worked and the understanding behind focusing on the things that you want and achieving it. I remember when I was reading the book that my personality started to change. I became extremely positive. And my ex-girlfriend at the time didn't like it. When I started focusing on the positivity in the world, or the positivity in my own life, she started to neglect and feel angry towards me. And it hit me at that moment like I needed to make a change in my life. After reading the book The Secret, it was really clear what my path had to be. I loved photography at the time. Instagram had really just started, and I was like, I'm gonna just start taking pictures. So that morning, I had cleaned the apartment, got dressed. I rolled the die 7 times while I prayed, and I told myself, if I hit this die 3 times in a row, that I would leave the apartment and I would start my own life. I'd journey out and I'd do whatever it is that it took to be stable for myself and be a great photographer. And I rolled it 3 times and it hit a 1, and I got scared. I started crying. And I was like, damn, I'm not ready to just leave. So I kept rolling it thinking it was going to hit another number, and it kept on hitting a 1 7 times. And after that, I just knew, like, damn, I got to do what I got to do to leave. So I left and I started looking at apartments. Around 5 o'clock, it hit. She started calling me, hey, baby, where you at? I didn't pick up. Her mom started texting me. Her sister started texting me, and everybody was wondering where I was. I stayed at my friend's house. Didn't know what I was doing. I kept on reading the book, 4 Agreements. I stayed with Ariana for 3 days. After I just started moving around, traveling, going places. I went all around LA as far as I could. Just took the train, no money, just off the whim that I would find something inspiring. And I didn't have a camera. All my clothes were thrown away. Food, I remember I used to eat bananas a lot. There's 3 days that I only had 1 banana each day and water. I didn't ask for much. I didn't have to think about what everybody wanted from me and what I could provide to them. And, it was just me. I kept it really quiet, and I didn't want anybody to know that I was kind of doing this crazy, because I think everybody would have been mad at me. Gee, why are you doing this? And I thought, why shouldn't I be able to take this journey with myself? I remember there was this time I was listening to James Blake before he became big. I was listening to James Blake album this whole time that I was homeless, and it was probably one of the most inspiring things in my life, right? And I went to Pasadena, and at this time I had no money. I had nothing. Like, I literally only had a pair of camo pants that I still have to this day. This is 3 years later. These camo pants, black shirt, and some boots. I went to Pasadena, and I decided I was going to sleep out in Pasadena in the train station. No idea why. I didn't know where I was going, what I was doing, but I decided to come to Pasadena. And I think the reason why is because I was in love with this girl named Ambrielle at the time. She was this Mexican chick, and I don't know what I was doing, but I came out to Pasadena, and she was in Alhambra, and I was like, come see me. I just want to come see you. And she was like, yeah, all right. Never saw her. I was homeless for about a month. When I was really homeless, I slept in Pasadena, and when I still kind of had money, I was downtown. And it was funny because at the time, like, when I lived in downtown and I was homeless, that was when I first started to be homeless. I had a big bag of clothes that I had collected after, with the money that I still had left over. I had maybe like a pair of jeans that I had bought, a couple t-shirts, just little stuff that I needed to keep carrying on in my life. I remember this day that I tried to go to the Cecil Hotel. This is during the time when they found out this woman had died in the Cecil Hotel. I remember I had slept in the lobby a couple of times, and I was really, really tough because it was raining out those nights. I was more focused on how do I get money, and I was kind of nervous at the time because I felt like I was falling apart. I was losing it. I remember I met this older guy. I forgot what his name was. This is a Mexican guy, but real jacked up eye, kind of walk with a hunch. But I remember I met him at like 4:30 in the morning one day, and I was in like Famima, and he bought me a coffee. And we just started walking, and he was really enlightening because he knew things that I just didn't understand, like how to make money from thin air, not how to make money from people. He said, people, you control everything around you. That's when I went to Pasadena. No money, no friends, no nothing. And I came to Pasadena, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to open up a Wells Fargo credit card. Open up a credit card, $700 limit. I was like, wow, God is blessing me. This hotel in Pasadena, after like a week of sleeping in the train station, and I had went to, I think it was the Marriott, and I stayed there for 2 nights, and I paid $300 a night. And I was like, this is stupid. Why did I spend all my money on a hotel? $300. But I was like, fuck it, I want my money. I want to be able to enjoy, you know.
You needed it.
I needed it. I was homeless. I wanted to feel comfortable and sleep in a good, big, fluffy white bed, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So soon after this, the day that I had left there, I had met this girl named Elise. And she lived in Pasadena, and I gave her my number, and a couple days later, I was in Barnes & Nobles, and I was always reading, and she texted me, she was like, hey, I'm on Colorado Boulevard. And she was like, let's meet. And I was like, all right, cool. And it was weird, because it was kind of a blessing, because she ended up taking me in. I lived with her for 9 months, her and her mom. I think the one thing that I learned most was dependent on yourself and God. You have to have faith if you want to do things that are completely out of your comfort zone. And the only way to grow is to break that comfort zone. If you want to achieve anything, you have to go to the limits. Because if you don't, you'll never be anywhere being comfortable.